Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we're back to Broken Sword for the Angel of Death. So instead of talking to Andre Lebano and getting help with the manuscript, we're going to play a hacking minigame to hack into his website and get the information we want without his assistant, which seems crazy and ridiculous, and it's on this tiny little PDA screen, and I'm thinking to myself, even at a regular resolution, if let's say the the intended resolution for this game had the screen stop here and here, it's still not at a maximum full screen. Uh, this should just zoom in with a little visual effects. So we need to go through this and to this, and we can't hit any of these with our beam. So if I do this here, that won't work. I need to reflect it. So I believe this there, and then that there, and that there, and then that there. So not a difficult puzzle. Server has been hacked. Yale database has been downloaded to your PDA. The entire database, because the internet was only 5 web pages back in the day. Disconnecting. Let's see, PDA notepad. Reminder, pay telephone company. We're just in the notepad. See, Latin on manuscript. Translated. Obtained historical database from Andre's machine. See, it seems like now my notepad has some links I can click on. The manuscript writings. So if we need to go back and look on that, interesting. Yeah, but this is going to require, let's see. Welcome note from Andre Baphomet. Dear colleagues, I welcome you to the Society of Antiquarium. Simply enter a keyword on the subject that you wish to research and indulge yourself. Those of you who know me will agree that I am a talented, open-minded man. It is therefore with particular regret that I must inform you that we're making a number of brazen and fallacious claims. George Stobbart, a man who would have once have claimed many of you as friends, has been barred from accessing this repository. Waste no more time on this disagreeable subject and instead invite you to enjoy this. And here's a little bunny Templar. So George got banned, and the only thing we can search is Baphomet.
The link with Baphomet proves that there's some kind of Templar connection here.
And I guess John the Baptist might be the true patriarch, but we're just supposed to click on all of these, I guess, and we don't really have to read them. Nah, I don't want to read them.
The Templars really were victims of betrayal and greed. Philippe IV. I wonder, did you pay for your sins?
Well, since he just mentioned Philip IV, and let's just click on it.
Even by medieval standards, Philippe IV was a ruthless, vain dictator. His puppet, Clement V, was no better.
So continue. And then Clement V.
Clement V was just a puppet of the king. Did you know popes used to be regularly attacked by mobs in those days? Can't say I'm surprised.
As Napoleon said, history is written by the victors.
You know what?
So,
I think that the holy man on the right of the manuscript could be Clement V. He was Pope of Avignon and Philip's crony. but he can't be the true patriarch referred to in the manuscript.
So we just need to work out who is the true patriarch.
Well, they say that John the Baptist, I think, was the first pope. So, like, we have this great secret here. And that just takes you back to Knights Templar. And we haven't done Jacques de Morlaix.
Jacques de Molay was cynically betrayed by Philippe IV of France.
Secret. Anytime you see secret, it just takes you back. So this is almost a puzzle or maze. What's the Knights Hospitalier? Templars. That's just another name for Templars. Which takes you back to Knights Templar. So when you do Philip IV, though, that brings up two things. Clement V and Jacques de Morlaix. Clement V does the Knights Templar. I think I've gotten in a loop, though. The Great Secret of the Templars. Jacques de Morlaix. So now I'm just clicking back. I saw John the Baptist listed on one of these. And here it is, under Baphomet. So the Knights Templars under Baphomet, which was the beginning search. So we can just go back one more. Baphomet. And then we search Knights Templar, and then or Templars or John the Baptist. John the Baptist, Jesus' cousin. He's not saying anything, though. From John the Baptist. It was revered by the Templars. And see, that just gets us back into the same location. Baphomet, Templars, Great Secret, Knights Templar, Philip IV, continued, Jacques de Molay or Clement V. I can't help but feel like I've the Great Secret of the Templars. Yeah, I think I've just done it all. So let's just exit and see what happens. And let's talk to her.
Anna Maria, can you spare a moment?
What do you need, George?
And we'll just talk to her about everything we know.
So why are the Mafia after your manuscript?
We still don't know
My
what we're
father was a
doing
heavy
or where
drinker.
we're going.
There wasn't a bar in town he didn't tell his treasure map story. And the fact that his daughter was decoding it.
I guess it was just a matter of time before someone took him seriously, huh? That meatpacking place is pretty shady.
It's a real factory, huh?
It is. But take my advice, never eat a Martino salami. So, this manuscript has been in your family for years, huh?
It was handed down to my father. He had a whole collection.
Oh,
So he's
there were
probably a
more?
Templar. So what about the others?
So each one could point to a hidden treasure.
I wouldn't be too sure about that. but this one certainly does.
And the screen just kind of jittered there. Let's talk to
Hey,
this
Virgil,
guy.
you got 5 minutes?
Sure, what can I do for you?
We got nothing to say to him. So let's look at the map. The Latin header.
It reads, "Below the fortress of the one true patriarch awaits the angel, for he who is worthy and follows the path of the righteous." But which fortress?
So we need like the fortress in Turkey. Is there a map anywhere? Or are we ready to go?
I need to research the manuscript more.
And this is the manuscript here. I don't understand what I didn't click on in that database. Because I think I clicked on everything. And yeah, there's no map in here. And we can see she's actually following us this time instead of just staying place. Got some visual glitches.
I am not gonna do that.
Let's see. Want to put some fire to it?
I've got no reason to try that.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else that we'd want to do with the
Using
manuscript.
that won't work.
So it's the PDA again. And notes. And we obtain this historical database. And the other thing that's under the notes is we have the Latin translated. And that's all of the things that we have translated. So historical database, back, Baphomet, Knights Templar, John the Baptist, Templars. We'll do each one of these. Knights Templar, John the Baptist, and Templars. Alright. So under Knights Templar, we have the Great Secret. And then Philip the Fourth. And then Jacques de Molay. Isle de Paris. Knights Hospitalier. John the Baptist just goes back to Templars. Is there really some kind of puzzle here? Great Secret. King Philip the Fourth. Knights Hospitalier. Great Secret. That then goes back to the Templars. Which then goes back to the Great Secret. Philip the Fourth. Jack de Mole, you're avenged. Clement the Fifth. Philip the Fourth. Secret. Philip the Fourth. I feel like I've been everywhere. You can't ever get back to Baphomet. Alright, how about this? Let's see if we can call somebody.
Standing right next to her, she'd think I'm an idiot.
So, let's just look at everything.
It depicts Philippe IV of France.
Okay, so now that I've looked at everything, it's going to tell me different information.
Clement V, certainly not the true patriarch. The medieval city of Paris.
Yes. Oh, I see everything now.
The fires of hell are consuming the city.
Okay, this all makes... This is confusing as all get out.
In some pattern.
The game clearly needed to say just that... something along the lines of, I've got all the information I need, let's look at the manuscript again. Or just push me directly into the manuscript after looking at the historical database. Because
it's an eastern-looking city.
this is...
If Clement V is not the true patriarch, and St. George, who came from Turkey, is fighting a dragon below the city of a holy man, who is the true patriarch,
Yes?
then the city must be Istanbul, which was known as Constantinople in medieval times. And the fortress must be a reference to the old citadel of Constantinople.
George, that's amazing. Does it still exist?
I don't know, but I bet someone in Istanbul would.
George, you are brilliant.
So you're just gonna travel to Istanbul?
So much for helping me.
Hey, I'm having fun. I'd never turn down the chance to search for Templar treasure.
So, idol.
It's Baphomet, the idol that the Templars were accused of worshipping.
And the holy man,
The true patriarch of Constantinople.
whoever that is.
Constantinople.
And then...
St. George fighting a dragon. It's the angel referred to in the manuscript. Cross, crescent moon, Star of David. I wonder why these symbols are here.
So, we can just go to Constantinople now, apparently.
So, Anna Maria, you feel like a trip to Istanbul?
You think we'll find the treasure?
We'll have a damn good try.
So, it kind of feels like we've just now begun the story. Is she sleeping shirtless with George on the couch? Okay, George is on the couch, but...
Room service.
Does that really even mean that much, though?
Come in.
Because if she's sleeping shirtless...
Good afternoon, Effendi. I bring chai for you and your good lady wife.
Thank you. She's not my wife, you know.
Ah, of course. Yes, well, you are indeed blessed, sir, to have such a beautiful mistress.
Why don't you just say,
What I mean
okay.
is, we haven't... we don't... There's nothing happening.
Do not worry, sir. A few nights here in the beautiful Pasha Palace, and the sweet creature will know your special gift of romantic love, I am sure. I shall leave you to your rejuvenating sleep, sir.
Like,
Hi, George.
Yeah, hi.
What a sweet waiter. What was he saying?
Oh, nothing. The weather. Rain. Says it's not expected. Never has been. All an ugly rumor. Which is good. Time to find the treasure, huh? I'll be in the corridor while you get dressed.
see, and
What's
that
that?
seems
Yeah, thank you, George.
like overly awkward on his part, because it seems to me like she's more than willing to be naked around him. And then the game is kind of intentionally writing as awkward, but I would rather have some awkwardness than the non-romance that was kind of a staple of George and Nico. I think they may have made the right choice here, but I bet Nico still shows up at some point. And here we have this red-headed girl in Istanbul. And we are in a hotel, much like the first area, but I don't think we're actually gonna do any puzzle here. I think we're gonna just ask her if she knows where Constantinople is. And see, I'm not sure here, but this doesn't look like a Istanbulian, but whoever that person, whatever you would call somebody from Istanbul.
What sites can you recommend?
How about the Blue Mosque? Most of our cheap deal guests seem to find it quite satisfying.
Cheap deal guests, are we?
Anything else of interest?
There is also our Mosaic Museum. Guests like you seem to enjoy it.
Man, she's insulting you every time, isn't she?
Tell me more about Istanbul.
Do have a look at our map to see which sites could interest you.
That's kind of a drastic point to a giant computer screen with a giant cash register. Look at this. This thing is about 6 times bigger than her head. If you ever need scale, look at a person's head, which, okay, for her head, it's slightly too small anyways. And then look at something next to it. It's huge. Gigantic. That keyboard is way bigger than her fingers would ever want it to be. Let's keep
Tell me
questioning.
more about Istanbul.
Do have a look at our map to see which sites could interest you.
She's just pointing to the map. That's a nice animation to spend the effort on, because you may just not be able to figure out where the map is in the game.
How are you?
I'm well, thank you. And busy with VIP check-in requirements.
Let's ask about the old citadel by the river.
Do you know anything about where we might find the old citadel?
I have no idea. Why don't you ask the waiter? He knows a lot about the city.
Okay. So, apparently we can use the computer. Or we're
The
supposed to...
reception computer system. Pasha Palace has probably got a free wireless zone. Posh place.
Or are we supposed to look at the map? Over here.
A map of some of the tourist attractions. A map of some of the tourist attractions.
So I can look at it, but I can't look at it. Okay. Let's try the PDA and see if we can hack the thing. Nope. Just Labano's private server. This looks like maybe a picture from the second game again. It's a little cheesy to have every single picture in the game turn out to be just images and still shots from Broken Sword 2. It's almost kind of like this self-referencing alternate dimension. Like if, how would you put this? If a 3D Mario from like Mario 64 or New Super Mario Brothers had pictures of a 2D Mario, because that was a different like reality. So the waiter is gonna answer our questions, I guess. I guess he kind of has to. There's nothing else around here.
Wow, the flower arrangements here are certainly a notch up from Alfonso's.
Very flat cardboard cutout styles of flowers there, but better than the previous game. Everything goes up about 3 notches. That was probably right there between 2003 and 2006, just a amazing amount of progress in 3D technology. In fact, we've really made an amazing amount of progress in 3D technology completely. Like here we have a mirror that actually works, and it can actually see me and him moving around. There are games to this date that still don't have mirrors that work, for no reason other than they didn't program the engines to handle it. Fountain inside of the place. That's nice. And we're in different outfits. That's another thing to point out. See, are we ready to talk to this guy? Have to click on his head to talk to him. Can't just click on his back or chest.
How is my favorite guest this afternoon?
Let's see. Ask him about himself.
So, are you happy in your work then?
I have been a waiter all my life, sir. A joyous life, dedicated to the art of fulfilling the desires of each and every guest that travels to our great city. The exotic crucible where East meets West.
I'm not sure Turkey... Well, Turkey still exists, so I guess Istanbul still exists. But you can never know. By this time next year, any of those Middle Eastern countries could have changed their name or changed their borders quite drastically. Heck, that might happen anywhere.
Do you know anything about an old citadel here in Istanbul?
Oh, the great citadel. Legend tells that it is buried deep under Topkapi Palace.
Topkapi Palace. It's worth pointing out, compared to the previous game, when Nico was dressed up for adventuring, Anna Marie here, Anna Maria, is dressed very, very sensibly. Even more sensibly than George. George has short sleeves, which could be a problem. She has long sleeves, full-length jeans. Nico, and those are kind of flats, a little bit of high heels maybe there, but not super high heels. Compared to the way Nico was clothed in the previous game, she was just a complete and total ripoff of the early original series of Tomb Raiders. High shorts, shirt have unbuttoned, short sleeve, rolled up sleeve, with the arms rolled up even more. She's barely had any protection for adventuring, crawling through dangerous places. And George wasn't much better, but he was a little bit better. This seems very realistic.
Topkapi?
But they may mess it up later.
It's one of our most beautiful sites. Alas, it is not open to the public this week. There is a political conference going on, and the place is crawling with guards.
The
Why
one
not
week.
instead visit the famous hookah smokers by Galatasaray, or the San Sofia, the Blue Mosque, the Turkish baths. Very sexy, my friend.
I thought the Turkish baths were men only. or it was segregated at least. I've never heard of a co-ed Turkish bath before. That'd be interesting. So we talk to him. We have this mirror. It's kind of amazing. This is probably just as an experiment in their programming that they put a mirror here in an area where it doesn't really matter and it's not going to reflect too much and cause trouble. So now if I look at this, do I know where I'm going?
Anna Maria, look at this. Topkapi Palace is enormous. Where the heck are we going to find any traces of the old citadel?
There's a fountain in the inner courtyard. It must connect to the water system. Maybe that's the aqueduct that served the old citadel.
Yeah, that's possible.
But how do we get in if it's closed to the public?
You are working with George Stobbart. There's always a way.
So are we clicking somewhere here, or are we just looking? So here's the courtyard.
There's a fountain in the inner courtyard. Sometimes these connect to the lower aqueduct system. Maybe we could get underground there.
And so that's our final goal.
Museum section, it says. That's where the Topkapi dagger is exhibited.
And then on this back side, we have more museum. So seems like they just want us to click on everything.
The famous harem. Apparently the prince kept 200 concubines, as well as the usual 10 wives.
Why not go for a full 365, one for every day of the year? Maybe he took some
There's
days
a small
off.
Courtyard there. Could it be a way in?
Lover's vestibule.
Lover's vestibule? Wonder what that is.
Maybe the waiter knows.
So we'll ask about that. And the only other thing we haven't clicked on is the entrance.
That's the entrance. Probably heavily guarded this week.
It's weird. This is the entire... This is a map of just that area, not all the areas they mentioned before. Let's see. We're still running into a lot of that walking backwards and forwards from different areas. That seems just to be silly. Come on, click on his head so I can talk to him. What do you know about the Lover's Vestibule or security?
I guess the palace is impenetrable? I mean, with all the security?
Only the Crusaders managed to break into Topkapi, and they had somebody on the inside. A beautiful woman, I suspect, though the legend is murky.
I found a building on the map marked Lover's Vestibule. Do you know what that is?
The Lover's Vestibule. It is a side entrance that has a famous vault system which can only be opened from the inside.
Interesting.
Are there any other interesting entrances to the palace?
There are also doors inside that require 2 people to open them.
Sounds
Legend has it they were
puzzle-like.
installed to prevent the gorgeous concubines sneaking out for a quick rendezvous with a guard.
Well, I'm not sure if we have enough information yet or not, and I guess we'll find out in the next recording. It's been a long time since I've saved, so now is the time to save. Let's see, how long have we been playing? 4 hours and 30 minutes. And 4 hours and 30 minutes in the gameplay. We're just now beginning the adventure, which makes me kind of wonder, are we going to finish the adventure rather quickly and then be done with it? We'll have to find out later. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.